go ahead with the proceedings where we have got 4 leaders in MILT. Everybody is a leader, but here these people have come in today, so they're going to talk and share their experience as well, very briefly. Now, in this line, to give the keynote address, I've got a person who did this program from Dubai in PPW 13. Right from the time he did, he was very, very committed. Until date, he's committed. Now, I'm also told by Miltonian Velu that even before he could become a Miltonian, he was always there to support MILT social project. Whenever there was a contribution to be done, he was always there ready to contribute. So even before becoming a Miltonian, he was a Miltonian. So we are very fortunate to have him over here. Such a magnanimous person. It is rightly said, you're measured with not what you have, but what you give. And that is the real growth and the real richness. So therefore, we have such rich people in MILT who are ever willing to contribute and make a difference. So here he works as an vice president in Dubai, Fly Dubai, and a very, very committed person, happy family, and leading a great professional life, and also a contributor to the society. So therefore, I now call upon to give the keynote address, Miltonian Ramesh Ananta Raman. Over to you, Ramesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Danny. And a big congratulations to all the graduates of today. I'm very happy to see Apresh here on stage. I'd like to first and foremost thank Velu Arumugam. And dear friends, I started MILT in July 2021. I completed my PPW2 and I'm currently pursuing PPW3. The reason I do it is because I have experienced what MILT can do for you. And I have a quest to constantly make myself better. MILT is not a certificate which you hold, which is going to open doors for you in the external world. MILT is a program which opens your internal doors. You need to truly understand who you are and be ready to express yourself, and always be willing to take up challenges and say, I am going to get myself better. And with the MILT principles, what is imbibed in you, you will see automatically, you will want to make at least a few people around you better. And how do you become better? Apresh says, this is not a reading course, this is a doing course. You have to constantly keep doing. How do you do it? You continuously participate in all the alumni meetings, participate in the contests, participate in the knowing games, keep practicing everything so that all the tools which MILT has introduced you to becomes your second nature. You should know appropriate times to say that, oh, this is a talk to convince opportunity for me. And I have the blueprint how to use the talk to convince. And then say, I'm going to start with saying that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, this is where it is, I've convinced this person. Where is an appropriate situation to use talk to get action? All these have to become second nature. The way you say your name, spontaneously you should be able to use these tools. And you have to be the true ambassadors. MILT is not heavy in marketing. We do not do marketing. The Miltonians are the ambassadors. And from my perspective, I continue this program and I'm very enthusiastic to push MILT not just beyond into Middle East, even further away. Because as I said in the harmony, it is not that MILT needs us. It is the world needs MILT. And each and every one of us have a responsibility to take this program, to take these principles into every possible person whom we can see around. And if you have Miltonians world all over the place, you will see this world becoming a far, far better world. And that is a commitment, that is a promise I am making in front of all of you and in front of Aparesh today. And let us carry this movement forward. And let us make the world a better place. Thank you very much. And over to you, Danny.
Thank you so much, Ramesh, for your short and sweet message. You touched on the importance of leadership. You also touched on the importance of contribution and making a difference. In a very short time, you certainly have made a great impact. As you rightly said, Aparesh always says, MILT does not need you, you need MILT. That means we have to benefit from this wonderful platform. And I remember further on, he says, develop yourself in such a manner where MILT needs you. That means you become such a person, a contributor, that MILT certainly needs people like you. So therefore, in a short span of your coming in over here and your long span of knowing MILT, Ramesh, you certainly have made a big difference. And the Middle East chapter, for which you have taken the responsibility to build it, and I'm sure it's going to be a model chapter for every other chapter in the country, though they might be 30 years and 40 years old. I'm sure Middle East is going to be a model chapter. So thank you, Ramesh, for your presence and gracing this occasion and your support and your continued support in the times to come. Thank you so much. And now to give the guest address, we have another person over here, a very committed Miltonian, did the MILT course in the year 2001. And I'm very happy to say that it was my first batch in Kolkata, and I was able to train this dynamic couple of MILT, she and her husband. And I've seen them right from that time. They are professionally very, very successful. Very importantly, they've got a wonderful family. Many of us would do this. We are either professionally successful or we have a good family, or we have both. But very few people can also give the same dedication for the society. So these people, not only are they professionally successful, having a great family life, but they're also contributors to the society. They play a very important role in MILT Snehalia and Kolkata, in Growth Club, and also in Shumutala. So very privileged to have this person to grace the occasion and to address. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you Miltonian Manbir Jabbal. Can we give Manbir a big applause? Yes,
thank you, Danny. Thank you for such a lovely, warm welcome. Good afternoon to our mentor, Aparesh, and good afternoon to you, Danny, and good afternoon to my dear, dear Miltonian friends. I am Manbir Jabbal, a working professional and working as a marketing director of Contemporary Group, which is a business group with diverse activities. I'm also the admin head for two of our MILT social projects, namely the MILT Residential School for Boys at Shumutala and the MILT Charitable Primary School for young boys and girls, also at Shumutala. Today, this afternoon, with a warm heart, I'd like to welcome each of you graduating Miltonians. Welcome to the MILT fraternity. MILT was done together by me and my husband in the year 2001. And believe it or not, my friends, MILT has given us friends for life. The purpose and the meaning of life became so endearing as we continue to live with the MILT philosophy of knowing is not doing, but doing is doing. Our mentor, Aparesh here, who is the founder of the MILT Foundation, has, towards the end of the last century, conceived a beautiful way of life. He called it the Nri Movement. Nri Movement, you would wonder what it is. Well, let me just elaborate on it. It means the new revolution of India. It is simply a doctrine of life. Every Miltonian follows these principles of life, and it has become a duty to involve individuals as we come across in our daily lives to spread this beautiful fragrance of a perfect doctrine of life. So it's my privilege and pleasure this afternoon, my dear friends, to share these wonderful 6 principles which you can so easily relate to and make it your way of life. Well, The first principle would be effectiveness. Any individual, I'm sure you will all agree with me, any individual must ensure that his actions are always effective. No action should be undertaken without knowing the clarity of the result or of the end product. That means to say, automatically you will not waste your time and will be engaged in an activity which is definitely effective. So that would be the first principle, being effective. The second principle, which is so dear to me, which is self-improvement. We have an ample opportunity in our lives to keep learning and to becoming better every day. What better way than to do it? As a working professional, I continuously remind myself every morning that I need to learn something better today, or I need to imbibe the change that is going to happen with me today. And that way, I keep myself being relevant. To remain relevant, I think one needs to constantly keep changing. And as we all have learned in the MILT course, that change is the only constant. So this principle is so dear to me. It is so simple that we just need to continuously self-improve ourselves. The third principle, my dear friends, is constructiveness. Any individual must engage in a constructive activity which naturally leads to making the world a better place. Of course, if you make this constructive characteristic as a part of your habit and make it a permanent condition, you will always do constructive things. So every activity of yours becomes constructive in nature because you have made it a habit and a part of your life system. The fourth principle, my dear friends, is contribution. Like I still remember the day when Operash taught us, give till it hurts. Yes, my friends, become the net giver in the society. Just give it and feel the power of giving. We are so lucky and blessed as human beings, as the only species in the animal kingdom to be blessed with this intellect and the power to think. We should be so thankful to God. So we should be unleashing our potential to be just able to contribute and become the net giver. I would like to just read out 2 lines from the MILT pledge, that is, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. So if we live by this, contribution becomes the part and parcels of our lives. The 5th principle, my dear, is respect. Now, respect is a very commonly used word, but rarely do people tend to practice this word. Each individual, we should learn to give them regard and give them respect, because we would want that in return, wouldn't we? Wouldn't you also like to be respected? So what is the best way to go about doing this? The best way, the way I have learned it, to do it is by learning to be patient. Because the minute you learn to be patient, you automatically will imbibe that you need to be respectful. So that's the way how I relate it and try to imbibe that little respect if I have for each and every person in my life that I can come across. And of course, now summing up to the last principle, it's love. I'd like to thank Danny, the way he explained to us about this beautiful principle. Look at the palm of your hand. And now you can relate the 5 principles as your 5 fingers representing it. And what do you get? Nothing but love. And in MILT, we have learned that love is God, and we believe with being with MILT, being with God, you will be happy. So that's the way we relate love to. I'd just like to make the last line, and I'd say that love is the beautiful life force which makes us human. So in the end, I'd just like to thank Danny for giving me this opportunity so that I could touch each of your lives by sharing these wonderful NRI principles And to sum it up, I think it only makes sense to use our day and time effectively. And we should be improving ourselves with self-improving and learning and bettering each day, being constructive and making the world a better place. Contributive would be the only way we can further give on to the society and carry on giving back, and being respectful always with patience, and of course, living with that love and warmth. What better way than to end this wonderful life on this planet? Thank you, my dear friends.
Thank you, Manbir, for your graceful presence and for your gracious talk, because your talk didn't come out of your eloquence, didn't come to impress people. It comes from your experience, because you're not a person who gives a talk and takes a walk, but you're a person who walks your talk. Because I've seen you commit so much of your time for Snehalia, traveling from Kolkata to Shimoltala, staying there and ensuring the primary school and the boys are doing exceptionally well. Your support has been humongous. As Aparesh says, MILT does not need you, you need MILT, but we develop in such a manner that MILT needs you. So therefore, you have evolved to such a level, Manbir, that MILT certainly needs people like you, because you've got a great vision of empowering people, and your contribution in Snehalia and in the new revolution of India, in which Miltonian and your husband, Jagit Singh Jabbal, is the national coordinator. Your contribution has been great. So thank you so much. You've been high-flying lady, and you came down from London, jet-lagged, and in spite of all that, you ensured your commitment was kept. Thank you so much, Manbir.
Thank you, Danny.
And now we have a person over here who is another philanthropist who makes money and doesn't just take his family for a outing. He makes money and ensure he gives. Aparesh has given us a formula of you start with 10% contribution, but over a period of time, you give 90%. Now start with 10% and hold 90% for you, but develop yourself in such a manner where you can give 90% and just hold back 10%. Now the 10% that you hold is many, many times larger than the 90% that you held earlier. So this person is a true example of that. He's a businessman, runs company, very happy family, and he's very contributive to the society. He's the chairperson of the MILT Charitable Trust. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome to address Miltonian Grahadurai.
Thank you, Danny, for the wonderful introduction. At the outset, Mentor Aparesh is thoroughly enjoying the graduation program. And Manbir, Aparesh just now said you spoke so beautifully. Okay. My dear graduating peak performers, Miltonians, and other guests, it's my pleasure to welcome all the graduating peak performers into the MILT family. Dear peak performers, as Danny said, as a human being, we are multi-dimensional beings. We have our physical dimension, we have our emotional dimension, we have our intellectual dimension and spiritual dimension. When you work on all these dimensions, based on all the inputs given in your program, you start growing as a comprehensive growth. You grow as a leader. Your cup of life becomes full. When your cup of life becomes full, you start growing on yet another dimension of life called social dimension. You see the beauty of unity in diversity. Your focus shifts from diversity to unity. What is the essence in each other being and thing around me? And you start realizing, or you awaken to the higher consciousness that everything is united. The essence of everything is one. When this awakening starts happening in you, you start growing in yet another dimension of life called social dimension. You start contributing to the world at large. MILT as an organization gives avenue to start sharpening and growing in your social dimension. In that respect, we have Snehalaya Children Home operating in Bangalore, Chennai, and Calcutta. Here we adopt underprivileged children at the age of 6 years and bring them under our care until they complete 18 years. Until 5th standard, these children are retained in Snehalaya. Each Snehalaya Children Home is like any middle class home with complete facilities. They are supported by house mothers. They go to the nearest school to study, and at home they have complete schedule from morning 6 a.m. to evening 9:30 p.m. We have teacher for activities, extracurricular activities. The children are kept busy all through the day, and it is ensured that they grow holistically and enjoy their childhood. They start blossoming at a very young, tender age. At presently, we have around 35 children in Bangalore Snehalaya home, around 15 children in Calcutta, and 8 children in Chennai Snehalaya. Miltonians take different roles as a trustee or as an administrator of the home, or any functional activity like education, maintenance, health of the respective children home. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to connect and start contributing as a volunteer and enjoy and participate as the child grows in Snehalaya. When the child comes to 6th standard, from all Snehalaya, we move the children to a place in Bihar called Shimuntala. Mentor Aparesh has constructed a beautiful residential school which runs like a military regimented academy. Children are given schedules from morning 5:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. They are given a nutritious, balanced meal. They are not only given academic inputs, they are given the values, whatever the inputs we got from peak performance. The whole inputs is given to the children so that by the time they finish their 12th standard, they come as a very, very confident adult back to the respective city, and MILT supports them to pursue their college education and get integrated into the society and take a profession of their choice. MILT has been doing these programs for more than 30 years, since 1990, and so far we have integrated into the society more than 200 children. Apart from that, we have MILT Charitable Primary School in Shimuntala. I'm very delighted that our project director Mamta Gupta participated in this program, as well as one of our product of MILT Residential School, Lokesh, also completed the peak performer program. So in MILT Charitable Primary School, that basically provides primary education to the village children in and around the villages of Shimuntala. As of now, we have around 100 children pursuing their basic education, and we got a lot of dreams to take this primary school to a very, very high level in the coming years. And a lot of leadership opportunities are also available in both in MILT Residential School as well as MILT Charitable Primary School. You can get in touch with Danny. Danny will give you complete details. And before closing, I once again appeal to all of you. You've got two choices. One, to take peak performer program as yet another personality development program, or make MILT as a way of life. I strongly appeal to you, you should continuously sharpen the inputs by associating yourself with all the follow-up programs what MILT is offering, like monthly alumni meetings, satsangs, growth club, and we'll be in 2023, we'll be having our MILT National Convention in Calcutta. If we can somehow stay on in MILT until December 2023, I assure you, you would have cultivated all the MILT values in your mind. You will become a strong leader. You will become a contributing leader. No more you will be a mediocre. You will be outstanding in the society at large as a strong leader. I urge every one of you to continue to attend all MILT follow programs, and Mentor Operation myself would see each of you at Calcutta National Convention during December 2023. Thank you all. Thank you, Danny, for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Nri, for coming over here, and very importantly, having Aparesh also to attend the session. Aparesh said, I've spoken for many, many years, and now I've decided not to speak. Okay. So otherwise you would have told Aparesh to talk as well, but we don't want to trouble him. But his words that he spoke many years back has been so intensive that his voice has been spoken through many people. And I am one of it. Nri has been one of it right now. And you also heard Manbir quote Aparesh. So therefore, Aparesh continues to speak through so many voices, including the person who's going to give this speech of a thanks note. This person has been empowered by Aparesh, and he always calls MILT as armor for life. Today, if MILT has got a new dimension and a new wing and a growth, it's because of this person who has been in MILT from 1998 and then continued on. And then the moment he saw a MILT Peak Perform workshop, he found an opportunity to take it to Middle East. And now having taken it to Middle East, he's really set a new standard for this program, wherein people across the world are able to access. So we're very grateful to this person who's going to give us note. And as much as Nri said, Snehalya is something we need to contribute. Our family is not few members. Our family should be the world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And then we experience growth. So therefore, to continue on this wonderful inputs of MILT, may I call upon to give the thanks note are the person who's pioneered a training initiative into the Middle East and other places. Let's welcome Miltonian Velu Armugam. Let's give Velu a big applause.
Thank you, Danny, for those nice words. And it's really a great pleasure to see Aparesh. Aparesh has not seen me speaking anytime because I moved to Dubai. And now he is there, so it's so much of joy for me to see Aparesh in front of me while I am speaking. For all the members, first of all, I thank everyone present, Aparesh, Gregadurai, and all new graduates, Miltonians, Manbir, and all the Miltonians. Thank you so much for being with us today. For all the graduates, this is what I want to tell what is MILT. Okay. I said, Aparesh, you are not my biological father, but you are my father. Why? Whenever mere thought of Aparesh comes, I get goosebumps. One person in my life I have seen, I used to read materials of Swami Vivekananda. Every word that Swami Vivekananda said used to bring this energy so much. Aparesh, I have seen physically having that kind of energy, that kind of vigor, that kind of enthusiasm, the way he used to talk, everything extraordinary. That is why I say, I used to tell, I met a legend in my life through MILT. Okay. If MILT did not come to my life, I won't be what I am today. Little bit, I go backward. I want to tell this, I'm a school dropout, 4th grade I left in Chennai, Mangadu. That was the end of my school studies. Whatever reason, I could not continue. After 11 years, I did 10th grade, passed, 12th, graduates, then I did CA, I did ICWA. I came to Dubai, I did even the CFA course, Chartered Financial Analyst. Why I'm sharing all these things? These things did not give what MILT. one important point that I want you to understand, because you all got into MILT. This is not just a training. This is not just a training. It can be your life. It can be armor for your life. When nothing comes to rescue, MILT can come. When nothing comes to rescue, MILT can come. I don't value any of these certificates, CA, ICWA, CFA, but MILT, because I am living MILT and it is part of me. It comes naturally to deal with the things. It comes naturally to address the things. It makes me naturally to move with the flow. Move with the flow. Whether you are this side of being victim by external forces, name whatever it is, you can live life of victim or you can lead your life. MILT can help for this, to take charge of your life and lead your life. You no need to be victimized. Because I used to believe in this. Apuresh said in one place, one must have uncompromising honesty. Uncompromising honesty. It is difficult. It is difficult in the world. The way the surrounding, the way the people are, everyone is going that side. We have to compromise. Here Apuresh said, one must have uncompromising honesty. I used to feel, but it was difficult. But that's when I got into MILT. I saw MILT is really helping me to live a life that I wanted to live life. Today, there is nothing which can make me to surrender. There is nothing which can make me to accept which my inside is not accepting. Are we inside the material? Are we outside material? That we need to question. The MILT can help for us to be inside the material. When you are working with your inside, outside do not matter to us. So much is there in MILT. It's not just a training. It's a liberating process. We are getting condition. Society, parents, everywhere we are getting condition. To get rid of this condition is not easy, my dear friends. I realized through MILT. The influences of our mind, how vulnerable our mind, how much it can destroy us or it can create us. Whatever we are experiencing, whatever we are getting outside, it is not easy to get rid of this. MILT helped me to get my influence, my mind influence, to stop, to take charge of my life, There is nothing, even death appears in front of me, I will tell, yes, I am ready, I will go. This is how I changed, only because of MILT. That's why I said, what Apuresh has done, not my professional courses, nothing could do what Apuresh has done to me. In fact, I did not work with Apuresh so closely. Only the training. That much I admire this man. That much I admire this man. One sentence is said, couple of sentences said in the training. Human beings commit two blunders in life. One, we communicate when we should not communicate. The other one, we don't communicate when we should supposed to communicate. He said in the training, I still remember, it stuck in my mind. That kind of energetic and the dynamic legend he is, and we are blessed to get into this MILT forum. What is the reason we have got into? It's not just to get training and live our life like a mediocre, only for us. No, you cannot become great. You cannot live your life. You cannot actualize your potential unless you start contributing to the world. That is why this man has realized, Apuresh has realized, so he created MILT in such a way, everyone who get into MILT will get the opportunity to get transformed and go on to actualize their potential. He said, let this world be a little better place because we came here, he said, how do you connect? Individual training can lead to make the world better place. I will tell you, my dear friends, I understood. I'm living the MILT. That's why I'm expressing. What he does is now through MILT, he makes the individual person life better through training. Yes. Why? Unless individual life becomes better, the immediate surrounding cannot be better. Unless the family becomes better, the near surroundings will not become better. Unless the surrounding is city, the country, until the country becomes better, the world will not be better. The starting point is every individual. So the training is so powerful, so intensive. That's why within the short span of time, every one of us know. But what? Most of the people do the training, then no, you must leave the MILT. Then you see what MILT is. Only then you will see what MILT is. You must live. It has to become way of living, expressing. You will be one with MILT. Then you will know who you are. I can keep on speaking that much, but I would like to end here because other programs, the segments are lined up. I thank Aparesh. I really mean it, Aparesh. You are my father. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Daniel.
Right.
Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Velu, for your emotionally charged up talk. I understand that MILT makes a difference in your life and into many people's life. As you've been saying, MILT is an armor which one needs to put on and go through the world and become very stronger. So thank you so much for your inspiring words and for reminding us many things that Aparesh has been living and telling us.